remove commodification from nature. Stop putting a goddamn price tag on the living natural world. The ecology should be superior to the economy. And the only way to get there is through overcoming the mental limitations that we have, that we can't even imagine a world where there isn't money. We don't even want to imagine a world where you don't make money, spend money, ball out. You can't even imagine a world with all these unjust, unnecessary hierarchies. You have to destroy capitalism. You have to destroy private property. Nobody can own land that was here 1 million years before you were born and will be 1 million years after you're dead. And we have the obscene, absurd notion that individuals can own land. Land ownership, which is a relatively rare and new phenomenon amongst human beings. Conquering territories. You look at maps, and every time you look at maps, you see all these borders, and you think these borders are real. I'm an American. I'm a foundational Black American. You a goddamn fool. So the solution to ecocide is socialism, destroying the systems and institutions of capitalism, dismantling the capacity to wage war, ecological development. Every technology, every product has to be manufactured in a way that respects the ecology. Sustainable, not development, sustainable coexistence. Development is a capitalist concept. That means infinite growth. You need sustainable coexistence. Stop talking about development and talk about coexistence. They colonized people. You still, the developing countries. How do I coexist? How do my talents, my interest, my ambitions feed into and benefit the ecosystem and the people who are around me? So we have to stop emitting toxins. We have to stop mass manufacturing and distributing non-biodegradable products and plastics. Hyper-consumerism, commercialism, materialistic individualism. We have to fundamentally change our values, our outlook, and our relationships to each other and the natural world. We have to stop with externalities. We have to do away with externalities. And the monetary cost of something should also reflect its environmental cost. Who gives a shit if you can get cheap electronics, if those electronics are going to be contaminating the soil of your great-great-great-grandchildren? Where the fuck are all the iPods? I still have the first iPod I ever bought, the very first one. I have a little iPod Nano thing that I still use. There's people who've had 30, 40, 50 iPods. So the solution is for us as individuals to live ecologically, to develop our own personal ecological practice. And I know that won't solve the problem, but what it does do is put you in the proper mindset. My family, we consume an organic vegan diet. We grow food. We compost our biodegradable waste. We recycle. We sort our trash. We are very mindful about buying new things. We are very, very much into repairing, reducing consumption, buying things secondhand. Even I like video games. I used to buy all my video games used in secondhands. I used to buy used in secondhand gaming systems. And even though I know that doesn't stop the destruction of the ecosystem, what it does is me personally living ecologically when I do begin to engage and work on the larger scale problems, corporate emissions, corporate pollution, state-sponsored destruction of ecosystem. It changes your mentality. It makes you more mindful. When you go and buy groceries and you read the ingredients and you look at the source, where it came from. You're buying products made in the occupied territory. A lot of people, free Palestine. And a lot of these people who talk about free Palestine literally have products that are manufactured in the occupied territories sitting on their counter. While you going on to the free Palestine protest, your ass is using a soda stream and filling up a bottle of water with your soda stream made in a kibbutz in the occupied territories, and you putting a cap on there and heading out with Israeli or Zionist manufactured products, carrying it out so that you can have something to drink at the pro-Palestine protest. All these electronics we're buying. The e-waste being shipped to the African coast. Sub-Saharan Africa has some of the highest level of e-waste contamination, which means mercury and lead contamination. They are polluting the cradle of human existence. The very cradle of mankind and the cradle of civilization. These goddamn crackers are turning into a toxic waste zone. All them old big booty TVs, them big ass TVs, all them big ass monitors, all those big ass fucking computer consoles, where do you think they went? All the phones from last year, the iPhone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all those iPods you tossed away. All your old car batteries. for your e-cars and your internal combustion cars? Where's that shit go? This planet is a fishbowl. You don't throw anything away. Nothing gets thrown away. And especially people in the U.S. produce too much waste. It's not enough landfills within the U.S. So the United States pays, quote unquote, developing countries, so-called third world countries, in large barges of some of the most toxic materials that are produced and consumed in the United States, are sent to parts of Asia and Africa, and corrupt Arab and corrupt African and corrupt Asian and corrupt Latin American leaders. We're like, hey, take 5 barges of this nuclear waste. We'll give you $10 million. And then the motherfucker doesn't even put the $10 million into his own economy. He sends that to his personal Swiss bank account. And then when he gets sick from the toxic waste he allowed into his country, he didn't invest in hospitals. He didn't invest in universities. So the rich oligarchs get on a fucking plane and fly to Sweden, fly to Portugal, fly to the United States to go to a hospital of the colonizers on private jets. And we think that shit is balling. Hip hop has promoted blood diamonds and blood gold stolen from our ancestors. And we, as the African diaspora, wearing diamonds that were stripped from our continent, buying our resources from our enemies, our oppressors, our colonizers. So from day one, every organization I've founded, every organization I've worked with, I've always had an ecological component. You must be ecological in your personal life. And not because your personal life and you recycling will change this, but it will put you in, cultivate your mentality, your outlook, your point of view, your value system, so that you can go out and be non-hypocritical. You go vegan, you become more ecological, you reduce your consumption, keep your cars, don't buy a new fucking car. If you got to work and maintain what you have, stop buying new shit. And I know nothing makes me feel better than see African people with nice things enjoying life. But I think we as people, our value system, a nice thing enjoying life means communing and breaking bread with our people. Being in the open spaces in our community. We have to stop nice things and living good. We have to get that away from nice clothes and brand new clothes and brand new cars, money holes and clothes and all that shit. We have to move away from that. Stop lining up for fucking Jordans. So ecological individuals can create ecological organizations that can have positive ecological impact. We have to form organizations, not-for-profits, support Green Party candidates. Make sure every politician that appeals for your vote say, what is your environmental platform? What environmental policies you have at all levels of governance? When there is a fight to bring in polluting industries into your community, fight to plant more trees, fight against these local ordinances that are cutting down the more natural grasslands, native grasses, native trees. The solution to ecocide is people being ecological, understanding their local ecology, understanding the global ecology, and advocating for, organizing, fighting, and educating the community while being personally responsible to the extent that you can be. Stop eating meat and consuming dairy. So who says I don't give solutions? I'm gonna have to wrap this up, actually. I do.